I think the most shocking is because it is so brazen and it's so visual and it's so visible is the training of Chinese pilots in the United States. And this is something that, you go back to 9/11. I'm old enough to remember 9/11 vividly. And we woke up to the fact after, the dust settled and we buried the dead that people from terrorist countries had come here and gone to flight schools. And remember, famously, they didn't want to learn how to land. They only wanted to learn how to fly. So they exploited our flight schools, and we shut that down. We said, we're going to do screening. If you're from certain regions of the world, where there might be a jihadist influence, you can't go to flight schools. And then to wake up to the fact that we are training thousands of pilots in the United States from China, many of whom are going to be flying for the PLA. That to me was shocking because when you go on the website of these flight schools, you see 95% of the students there are Chinese nationals. That one probably for its brazen and, in my mind, obvious nature.
And so, okay, explain how this works, because this is not the military doing
correct.
The training, obviously, right? Well, maybe not obviously, but hopefully obviously.
Right.
But so how does it work? How is it that private aviation schools are training military pilots?
So what happens is these training schools in the United States, they obviously want students, and the tuition's expensive. It's $90,000 for basically a year of training. So the Chinese government has gone to these flight schools, and China has a pilot problem because they need, according to their estimates, about 5,000 pilots a year, military and civilian. But they can only train about 1,250 because the military restricts airspace usage in China. So they have to get them trained somewhere, and they get them trained in the United States. And so what happens is the Chinese government pays the tuition. It's $90,000 a year, cash in advance. These schools get it. And the pilots come and train here. It's basic flight training. When they go back to China, the cream of the crop go to the PLA for more advanced training. So what becoming a pilot's a lot like becoming an athlete. You crawl, then you learn to walk, and then you learn to run. Well, we're teaching them to walk. We're giving them the basic flight training, and we should not underestimate that. I mean, this is a year-long process. You're learning the basics of flight training. They wouldn't be learning this elsewhere. And the best of the pilots that are trained here are going to be training on advanced military aircraft in China, and our pilots will be facing those pilots. So to me, that was shocking because of its brazen nature, and it just seems to me kind of a slam dunk that we should say, we're not going to do this. We're not going to train Chinese pilots to do this.